What's going on, guys? This is the Illegal Defense. We're going to get into it. Episode 8. We're going to get into some college football. A lot of games to go over, a lot of things to go over. So we're going to jump right into it.
Yeah, and we'll start off this week with the big ACC matchup, primetime matchup with Clemson going against Syracuse. Clemson that, you know, very longest current active streak of home wins. They have a hot Syracuse team coming in.
Right.
And it wasn't looking so good for Clemson in this game. Syracuse, kind of had them on the ropes there. Clemson was able to come back and lead on their defense in the second half. Kind of stop the Syracuse offense and climb back into the game there at home to keep the win streak alive. Fans storming the field and they're celebrating, but a lot closer win than
most anticipated.
Than most anticipated. But if you're Clemson, it's one of those situations where a win is a win, and that's kind of the last tough game on their schedule now.
Right.
So unless someone is able to pull an even huger upset in the next few weeks, Clemson is looking pretty good to get to that ACC championship game, potentially undefeated, and if they win that, they're pretty much a shoe in for the playoffs there. Yeah. But this wasn't one of DJ's best games. They I don't want to say kind of sort of benched him. They did bench him, although it wasn't like early on in the game, like Kate Klumdick comes in to barely, do anything really. Right. Dabo says he's gonna still ride with DJ. But DJ after the game showed a lot of maturity in the press conference. Kind of really handled everything well. Was able to kind of take accountability, but also express his desire to do better. Talked about things that he needs to work on, while also kind of knowing a lot of what's going on the team, which is
which is important.
Very important. So I mean, like we said, tough game for Clemson, but they're in pretty good position after pulling out the win here.
Right. And I think with Syracuse, what they could take away from this game is that at least they're heading in the right direction. Had they capitalized on the turnovers that Clemson had, I think we would have been having a different conversation, and Syracuse would most likely be the winner in this matchup. But I think this is what separates good from great, and this is what separates good teams from great teams. As far as great teams would capitalize on those turnovers, and they wouldn't let Clemson just get back into it the way they did. You look at, if you watch the game, it was kind of like, how did Syracuse lose this game?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of went over that like a few weeks ago with the Bills and Chiefs game, where it's like there's a small margin of error, but it's who's going to win this is most likely whoever wins a turnover battle. So it's like, again, goes back to being a good team and being a great team. Great teams capitalized on that. Great teams respond well to that. And good teams are, they're in the middle of the pack and they're kind of like, eh. So I think that's kind of what Syracuse showed, and Clemson showed that they're obviously the big dogs and that they're obviously going to run the table in the ACC. But again, DJ struggles, and it's week 8, or no, it's week.
That was week 8.
That was week 8. Yeah. So it's like he has to show some type of promise.
And not for nothing, we talked about DJ maybe not playing up to kind of the standards as far as being lumped into that category with
like CJ
with CJ and Bryce,
all of them. But
he has put up pretty good numbers throughout these last few weeks until this past week against Clemson. So if DJ plays like how he has kind of been playing, right, for the most part the rest of the year, I mean, I think they're in pretty good position with the defense that they have to certainly make the playoffs, and from there, they could see where they go from there. But Clemson able to get the job done, and we know now to kind of expect them to at least get to that ACC championship game moving forward, and see how that goes, and that'll be what's next for them.